Yo, what is up, everyone? Back here with another video. Today we're going to be going over Pokemon that I think has a lot of potential that I think is being pretty underutilized. The Pokemon in question is actually Smeargle. So you might recognize Smeargle from its shenanigans in like 2016, particularly where it was like super meta, and some other formats where it's kind of made an appearance, even in 2019, right? And 2018. But basically, Smeargle is one of those Pokemon that has a wide move pool, but it's obviously limited by its stats, right? So pretty much it's like a Ditto situation almost. Like it has a gimmick that makes it really strong and usable, but also too it struggles in some regards because of its stats or like kind of how like what it does, right? So like for example with Ditto, the nerf on Ditto that prevents it from being like super crazy is like its HP, right? It carries over its HP, so it doesn't retain the bulk. And then with Smeargle, the overall issue is just like its stats, or not like its stats so much, rather than like just it's a little bit weaker. So we're gonna be covering Smeargle here, kind of talking about what I think is the best use of it in the format, and also why I think it's super underrated. Because even though it does have pretty underwhelming sets, the ability to have access to literally any single move is pretty crazy. So we're gonna be discussing that, and there are like a couple sets I wanted to go over. So yeah, I mean, with that being said, let's go and get into it. So first, we should pull up Smeargle, right? So Smeargle here basically is a Pokemon that is like you'll see it's pretty much paired next to like kind of the similar Pokemon, but it usually carries a lot of the same moveset. So you'll see Fake Out, Spore, Follow Me, Spiky Shield, and then as you continue down, you'll see that there are a lot of different moves. So what I wanted to talk about was actually the wide move pool that I had and a couple of uses that you can use with Smeargle, right? So basically, there are a couple things you can do with it. Smeargle basically works best as a follow me kind of fake out bot, and that usually works well next to like redirection Pokemon or Pokemon that like to set up rather. So for example, like Azumarill, right? Because you can fake out next to it, you can follow me, you can protect it, and you can keep it safe, and then Azumarill's pretty free to just do what it wants, right? Now, where it comes into competition with other partners is pretty much like with the bulky grass types that kind of synergize a bit better with the typing. Now, the one thing I will say about that is that the grass types do something different than Smeargle does. Smeargle basically has a guaranteed redirection with Follow Me, and it has fake out pressure to actually stop things from moving, right? So it's two things that it can do very well that actually allows it to exert a good amount of pressure, right? Now, that being said, where it struggles in comparison to a redirector like Tangrowth or like something faster like Jumpluff is that basically you don't have the same speed or like bulk available, right? So with Tangrowth, the extra bulk is really nice. Obviously, you can't redirect grass types, but you get the benefit of the extra bulk. And then Jumpluff, you have the speed to actually disrupt the opponent with like fast sleep, prevent the opponent from really getting off what they want. So that's basically the drawback between each. Now, we're going to be going over the Focus Sash Smeargle set first. So with the Focus Sash Smeargle set, it's pretty straightforward. It really depends on your preference in terms of what you're trying to do. However, Follow Me, Spore, and Fake Out is always like the guaranteed move set. Basically, you're deciding between Wide Guard or Spiky Shield. And the defensive moves are more of a staple of the more, I guess, how do I put it? The more like kind of defensive redirector Smeargles, because this Smeargle is basically meant to redirect, it's meant to disrupt, it's meant to utilize itself to protect its partner, right? So typically you'll see one of the two defensive moves because when you have a redirector and like a setup mod, basically you can force the opponent to click a move that only really works on the redirector. You spiky shield, they take damage or something else. Or if you think that they're going to use a spread move, you click wide guard. Basically, Smeargle just capitalizes off of the opponent not knowing their move set until they see it, even though technically three moves are obvious, you could still have other moves that can really throw an opponent off, right? So that's kind of the main idea there. So for the Sash set, it's pretty straightforward. You'll notice that it's usually these three, and then it's just Spiky Shield or Wide Guard. Just depends on which you prefer with your Smeargle. Spiky Shield basically lets you stack Moody Boost more. So pretty much what you can do with it is you can utilize it to kind of use the Moody Boost, potentially try and get a couple defense boosts if you haven't burned your Sash yet, or kind of be annoying to the opponent and not let them remove it so you can save the redirection for next turn. Just a lot you can do with it, which is pretty cool. So that's like the main thing with Smeargle here. When it comes to the other set that I was thinking of, which is the Choice Scarf set. So Choice Scarf is basically giving you the benefit of immediate speed. You'll see this similar on Scarf Breloom, except that this Pokemon's actually much faster than Breloom, right? So you can actually get some extra damage off with it. Or not extra damage, but like be faster with it. So pretty much with the Scarf, you know, you're going to be outspeeding pretty much every Pokemon in the format, right? Because you're going to be the fastest Spore. Now, because you're running Scarf, you also have the fastest Fake Out if you'd like to run that move. The other nice use of it is you have really fast priority Tailwind, right? Which allows you to pretty much outspeed your opponents immediately instead of quick Tailwind that'll let your partner Pokemon outspeed. Now, obviously, there are a couple drawbacks to this. One, you're susceptible to Fake Out, right? So that's one issue that you could potentially run into. Also, two, the other thing is that you're susceptible to Mach Punch, so like priority moves, right? Now you can run a fast Fake Out, which I think is actually still pretty viable on Scarf Smeargle, mostly because it gives you a Fake Out that's faster than pretty much anything else in the format. If you look at the fastest Fake Out mod, right, and we go speed, fast Fake Out mod is Weavile, right? So you're actually going to be outspeeding Weavile and being faster than that, so you basically have the fastest Fake Out. That can really win you a turn if your opponent doesn't expect the Scarf, especially if it's closed sheet. And for the final move, it's pretty much up in the air depending on what you'd like to use, right? Obviously, Smeargle can literally learn any single move. I wouldn't recommend something like U-turn, mostly because even though in theory it would be nice, right? Like there's probably something better that you can utilize to actually get the benefit that you want, right? One thing that I considered was actually Parting Shot, because if you're going to be pivoting anyways, like Smeargle's not doing damage, but it would let you get a fast pivot that would let you reposition into something really quickly, right? So basically what you can do is you can use it as a fast, like, Parting Shot mon, get in whatever you want, and then you can bring it back into Disrupt later, or you go for fast Tailwind or fast Fake Out. It kind of has a lot of cool movesets, right, that it can utilize. I think that's a really nice option. Also, you'd want it to be timid. Jolly would make you do more Fake Out damage, but honestly, Smeargle's damage is so, like, I guess it doesn't really make a difference, right? Because the idea would be to lower it for foul play, but honestly, like, Smeargle's attack isn't even that phenomenal anyways, so you're probably fine with this. But yeah, so pretty much fast Fake Out, potentially fast Tailwind, fast Sleep, and then you have fast Parting Shot to reposition, right? It just gives you a lot of good options that can let you reposition your game and kind of move first. And it would definitely catch your opponent off guard in a closed team sheet scenario, right? Like, no one's expecting a Scarf Smeargle. So it's really cool, and it gives you like some cool options to really mess with your opponent. Now, the one thing that could be really cool to do with this is actually invest it so that it lives a Scissor Bullet Punch. Let me check this. This specific, like, there'll be Smeargle spreads on the Patreon. I always put up the spreads on the Patreon, but even having it live something like a Scissor Bullet Punch could be nice, right? But I'll have like all the Smeargle spreads that I worked on like up on the Patreon, right? Because you say like this does a ton of damage, right? So you kind of need to like kind of think about that. But yeah, final spread. So this one I'm not too sure about. From what I know, there's no official rules that all Pokemon have to be level 50, and in previous VGC eras, what people would do is they would have level 1 Smeargles so that they could get stronger endeavors off. Now this sounds kind of gimmicky, but it actually makes a lot of sense. So basically what you do is you lead the Smeargle next to a Trick Room on, right? So for example, Dusknoir, right? Now, the reason why you do this is because with the Smeargle being level 1, right, you have Fake Out Pressure, you have Spiky Shield, right? This just allows you to protect yourself so you don't get doubled up into and die. Follow Me if you need to actually do the redirection, and then you have the Spore, right, or Endeavor, actually. So pretty much what you do is you're going to let the Trick Room get set, and then you're going to Endeavor spam into the opposing team and clean it up with Dusknoir. Now, obviously, this strategy kind of relies on being able to be level 1. To my knowledge, this is allowed. If it's not allowed, then obviously this isn't usable. Because the rules in BDSP VGC Online is pretty much that you aren't required to be level 50. Now, we can even double check this in a match. Let me see if I can do this real quick. Give you guys the full information. But that being said, it is something that has been utilized in previous VGCs, which is why I wanted to highlight it. It might just be that people aren't using it, honestly, because it's something that is very unique to, the Diamond Pearl era games. So let me just do it on... We just make like a 4-mon team. Hold on. We're going to test this out live because I feel like it's something that's actually pretty relevant. Dusknoir and new Pokemon... Dialga, just kidding. Smeargle. then Torkoal, and then Hariyama. Right? So kind of works out that way. Let me just put the set on quickly. Flame Orb, Guts. But yeah, so pretty much like the main idea that this thing did was it was like super disruptive to the opponents, because you could pretty much just get everything in range of getting one shot, right? And pretty much like that would be really useful, because now you're just in a position where you're kind of just messing with your opponent the whole time in terms of like getting consistent damage off, putting them into ranges where they can't really do too much. You know, it just was not great for them. So let me do this. Just do this. Okay, and then Torkoal, we're gonna just put charcoal on it. Hopefully you guys don't mind this section. This is I pretty much finished talking about all the Smeargle sets anyways. I just want to test to make sure this one is theoretically possible. It should be, but it might not allow it on Showdown because they might have implemented the rules differently. It'll be something that someone has to test, but it is a really funny thing that they used to do in previous VGCs. And I remember this specifically because there was a 2009 VGC team that actually had this. So it is very possible to do. So I'll do Lumberry here, Nightshade, Rock Slide, Ice Punch, Trick Room. Yeah, and pretty much like with Dustmar, you just want it to be offensive, so you can be as slow as possible and under speeding things. Let me do this. And then here, we'll do like it in defense, I guess. And then, okay, Smeargle's fine. You don't even need to invest in HP. I mean, I guess you just put it to attack. Speed, it's not even necessary, honestly. Yeah, you literally just go like brave, I guess. I'm trying to think of a good nature for this, or even like sassy, maybe. It doesn't even matter, right? Like, I mean, I guess you're going for the extra damage with the Smeargle. But yeah, so now let's go and see if we could use this on ladder. Otherwise, I just wasted my time. But I guess it's good to check in the video anyways. It should be legal. I'm pretty sure it's legal. Yeah, it's actually legal. You're allowed to use a level 1 Smeargle. So basically now, the whole idea behind the team is pretty much being able to get the Trick Room up. As long as Tyranitar isn't led, pretty much what you can do is you can just go for a Trick Room, right? You can go for a Spiky Shield, whatever. So it's going to be a Latios lead and Tangrowth lead. We're going to fake out into the Tangrowth. We're going to Trick Room. And then if it decides to hit the Smeargle, now because the Smeargle's level 1, you can Endeavor spam pretty much everything. Even if it's not, I mean, they're still in a really bad spot. Because now look at this, right? You can go for an Endeavor. So speed drop 2, which is really good. So now we're like 5 speed. Now we just Endeavor Ice Punch. And basically everything is going to die to the Smeargle. Because with the combination of Endeavor, it's going down to such a low percentage of HP, like nothing can live. So it doesn't even matter, right? Like having a level 1 Smeargle is actually a legitimate strategy, because with the Endeavor spam, you can pretty much put an opponent in the position where everything just dies. And they can't do anything about it, right? So like here, we're just going to go for an Endeavor. The only situation where this doesn't work is if like it's an Extreme Speed Arcanine, right? Which it's not. And it's Nightshade, right? And now you just soften them up so badly that you just go for a knockoff and a Nightshade here. You pretty much just ruin everything you want to like, mess up, like pretty much beat, right? Like, because here, now they're in a really bad spot because they just use Protect, right? So you can knock off and you can Ice Punch them. And you can Nightshade pretty much clean up the game, right? So it's just like, it's a really like niche thing, but it's like super cool in my opinion. Like, it's just something that most players don't know about. So it's a really cool strategy. And definitely something that's worth like looking into at Smeargle, because like Endeavor Trick Room spam is like kind of ridiculous. I'm kind of surprised that no one's used it yet, because it was something that was used in 2009. But yeah, it's just like, it's really funny too, because Smeargle just Endeavor spams everything, right? And just like removes it. I just think that's like great. Like, it's actually just so funny. So yeah, you just click knock off, Nightshade, game's over, right? But yeah, so that's pretty much it. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the video, guys. I just wanted to highlight the different Smeargle sets and test the level 1 set with you guys. It's really funny. It's legal in this format. It's something I think people haven't used yet. I'll probably like make a video on this team or something like this team, because this is actually really good. But yeah, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for the Smeargle sets I wanted to highlight. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to let me know what kind of videos you guys would like to see next, and also to make sure to support me on the Patreon if you guys would like to, obviously support the channel beyond the videos. Also, this entire, like, all these sets will be up on the Patreon as well. Also, make sure to check out coaching if you guys would like to improve your skills, everything. And on Twitch, I also, when I'm on there, I always stream, like, tournaments, just battle tower, stuff like that. So make sure to check it out. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for all the videos, or for the videos, for the support. And there'll be more videos on the way. So once again, guys, thank you, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.